Good morning. It's Nancy Joy in Monday Morning Reflections. When I read this article, which by the way I've printed at the bottom of this email, because I think many of you will find it fascinating, about the mega solar flares and the solar flares we believe affecting us. But the truth of it is, in all consciousness, that we are creating those solar flares. Now let me explain. The sun, of course, is the heart of our solar system, and it gives life and light and keeps the planets moving around in their orbits. Just as our heart, the solar heart of God that lives inside of us, is the touchstone of our heart, of our feelings, of our emotion, of our connection to God's self, as well as pumping life into the physical body. So we created our own reflection outside of ourselves. As you know, quantum physics proves this in many ways. We are not the observers of what we see. We are the creators of what we see. And what we feel and think affects those things we've created. So the mass consciousness of humanity is sending a very clear message to the sun, the heart of God that is our reflection. You know, wake up. We need to wake up. We're coming closer and closer to 2012, the precession of the equinoxes, the age of peace and enlightenment. And yet we have so much incredible emotions buried inside of us that need to flare up, or they're going to burn out the solar heart of God. And so there is predicted a large amount of these solar flares coming up soon that will create power outages and internet downage, stuff like that on the outside. But on the inside, what it's creating for us is more or less the answer to our prayers, the answer to our call for help. It's creating explosions inside of us to bring up the emotional sludge and baggage that has kept us blocked, kept us from connecting with Creator, kept us from knowing we are Creator gods. And along those lines, I'd like to share with you a little something personal that's been going on with me in December at the time of the last big solar flare. Heartlights, my company, which I started in 1990 and has been the glue that's held my work for myself and humanity together, zeroed out. For the first time in 18 years, there was just nothing. No business coming in, nothing on the calendar after last year's Peru trip. Just flatlined, needed some resuscitation. Well, instead of resuscitation this time around, the normal thing I would do would be get going, get promoting, do something, help, got to keep going. But instead, I went inside. I sort of did what I tell my clients to do, but I did it on a big level, which is hard for anyone, which is feel it, understand it. I created it. What's the message? What's it telling me? Where is it taking me? Well, you know where it was taking me? It's taking me into fear that somehow or another I'm insignificant or not who I think I was, or call it the death of an ego or anything you want to call it. But it took me to this, eventually working through it, to a much calmer, more peaceful place. So when I read this article about the solar flares, I could definitely see once again how important the emotional clearing work we're all doing is. Through things like certainly all the Heartlights programs, to Love It All emotional clearing workshops, the private channeling sessions with Ezekiel, the emotional field of humanity, the sacred journeys. But now so many people are coming through with exciting parts of this. One particular one I want to mention is Bruce Lipton and the Biology of Belief, which is an incredible resource to get to those subconscious thoughts which are sabotaging you, and many more that are helping us now. We don't know where these feelings are coming from. We can't always associate them with what's going on in our lives. In this case, what was going on in my life took me to the feeling, but oftentimes you have the feeling and you don't know why. Sometimes you just snap, you're angry, you don't even know why. Or you cry all day. Why? Sometimes you don't know, because it's a subconscious belief system. And as Bruce Lipton points out, 95% of our thoughts are not conscious to us. even though we are expanding, 95% of our thoughts are running our lives and creating our feelings, and our feelings are the clues to those unconscious thoughts. So that's the message this morning on Monday Morning Reflections. Lots to think about and lots to ponder. Great things coming up on Heartlights. My Peruvian shaman Malku coming in April. Elizabeth Fortune doing Flower of Life here in Iowa in June. I will be in Knoxville, Tennessee, doing To Love It All at the end of May. So check out the website, www.heartlights.net, and have a great week. See you next week.